This is the thing to know. I am actually a highly practical person. So we're going to take the woo down and we're going to bring it into the day to day. We have had a gajillion people who are going to be jumping in and joining us. Hello, loves. It always melts me to see familiar names. I mean, some of us have been together like real original givers, the gangsters for a decade. So the theme today is planning with the planets. And this is what I want to emphasize. This is what you need to know about me. I have 4 planets in Virgo, which means nothing to most of us. Highly practical, interested, devoted to the energetics of life. And I'm going to explain how our interconnectivity with the cosmos and the planets and the elements affects our daily lives. And how when we become aware of that, this is the whole point. Knowing how things work in the universe helps you get to your appointments on time, regulate your nervous system, make better plans, and fulfill those plans. This is meta practicality. So, for those of you who are new, I'm Danielle Laporte. I think you need to be subscribed to my channel to be getting this. There'll be a replay and all these things. I'm most well known for a book and a methodology around goal setting called the Desire Map. We think more like 400,000 people have gone through it. That turned into a day planner system, which has evolved into the centered planner system, which is running on the rails of the energetics of the days of the week. Hi, Sky. And I have an app called Centered. We have a collective, a membership called Centered, where I offer about 4 key courses a year and some pop-up classes on everything from forgiveness to regulating your nervous system and your relationships, and how a nervous system that's more balanced makes for way better emotional intimacy. We talk about healing anger. We talk about forgiveness. We talk about a heart-centered life. And I love the game of publishing and entrepreneurship. And I'm in Vancouver, and today is about planning with the planets. Kate Harvey, you're one of the OGs. Okay, so let's talk about how this has worked in many people's lives, and then we're going to go through the 7 days of the week. You'll get all of this in writing. This is baked into the Centered Planner. So this is part of the system, and it's part of the Centered app. I'm going to give you the meta view of the meta. You might want to take notes if you're a note taker, but you can also just relax, take this all in because it's all in the planner and all of the systems. If you told me that my Saturn trines this and Venus is in my Chiron, I couldn't tell you what that means. I'm not an astrologer. But I do have a deeper understanding about what we would call the personalities of each planet and how they affect our days. And I'm not overly attached to this as a guidance system, but it has created more lightness and more mental clarity and more relaxation and better conversations in my life. Hey, Anjali. So let's start walking through the 7 days of the week. Again, the meta intention here is when you're aware of these energetics, it's more grace and less grind. We make better decisions. The whole intention is that we hitch our awareness, we hitch our wagons to the energy that's natural, that's moving, that's seasonal, that's cyclical, instead of going against it, so that all of our wishes, our intention settings, our objectives, our strategies, our launches, our engagement parties, the days we need to cry and retreat, our productivity, they all get that kind of cosmic chef's kiss. There are better days of the week to pull back. There are days of the week that are more ideal for conversations and for giving and for cleaning up. So let's get into it. Let's talk about today. Today is Sunday. Sunday is ruled by the sun, by solar energy. Sunday is the day of worship, intentionality. Sunday, the name of the day of the week for Sunday is Domingo. I was just looking up recently. Domingo comes from the Latin word Dominicus, which means of the Lord, belonging to the Lord. It's this is the day of worship and devotion, reflection and contemplation for many cultures. Ideally, we're going to be doing restoration and preparation for the coming week. So, metaphysically speaking, Sunday is the first day of the week. This could be a game changer for a lot of us. Sunday is the first day of the week, not Monday. Instinctively, we all know that Monday is not the best day of the week to start, the best day to start the week, to kick things off. So Sundays, ruled by the sun, solar nature, Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, devotion. This is the best day to do your gratitude list. We have a exercise in our collective, actually, that's kind of a spin on a deeper devotion to gratitudes. Sunday is the best day to spruce up your altar. Sunday is the best day to plan for the week. Why? Blessed by higher energies, blessed by inclusiveness. The hallmark of Sundays is divine love and unity consciousness. Okay, let's talk about Mondays. For the Gen Xers, Bob Geldof, Boomtown Rats. Why I don't like Mondays? I don't like Mondays. Why don't you like Mondays, Bob Geldof? Because Mondays are moody. Mondays are looked after by the moon. The moon is shadow energy. The moon is feminine. The moon is emotion, feeling. The moon is associated with the earth element of water. That is not the conditions that are best for kicking things into gear and doing strategy and having meetings. Mondays are a day for, this is all you need to take away with Mondays. Mondays are a day for patience and mindfulness. Mondays are actually a great day to retreat. What I do in my life is I take all that devotional, fresh, that sparkly energy of Sundays of today where you're really feeling like, good times. And I bring that into Mondays. Typically, I make Mondays my deep work day. So I stay quiet and I stay in retreat mode. It's really been a game changer for the business for me to not be doing meetings on Mondays. Just relax, go deeper, ride that devotion from Sundays. So Sundays, solar energy, devotion and worship contemplation. Mondays, moon energy. In French, Mondays are lundi, the luna. Patience, mindfulness, tend to your feelings, tend to your shadow, which brings us into Tuesdays. Tuesdays, we start picking it up. So Tuesdays in French are called mardi, Mars. Mars is the planet of strategy, also known as the planet of war. I'd like to give Mars a rebrand. Who wants to be known as the planet of war? Mars is the planet of taking action, of ambition, of confrontation, which doesn't always have to be negative. So Mars, when you're not aware of it, can be a little on the aggressive. Maybe not the best day to launch things. Tuesdays ruled by Mars. What's the best thing to do on Tuesdays? Have your team meetings. Think about your strategies for the day, the week, the quarter, the coming year. Plan what you are going to execute on. We rebrand Mars to be like, this is the best day to take a mindful, heart-centered approach to planning and ambition. That's Mars. That's Tuesday. All right, let's move to Wednesday. Wednesday, we really start to pick up. So Wednesdays in French are mercredi. You can hear the words in all of these. Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. So just think mercurial. What do you think of when you think mercurial? You think communication, you think changeability. Wednesday is the best day of the week to disseminate information. So Wednesday is excellent for sharing ideas. Wednesdays is all about broader communication of thoughts, of experiences. Wednesdays, the blessing of Mercury is that communication on Wednesdays gets more ease. It's easier to get your point across on Wednesday. It's a great day to have the conversation. It's a great day to put something into the world. We were picking up. So we start with Tuesday, great day to execute. Wednesday is a great day to talk about what you're planning. It's a great day to put your strategies in the world. Thursday, you just feel this expansion gets even bigger. Thursday is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is a massive planet. Jupiter, the personality is very masculine. The energy of Jupiter is expansion. So when you've got that big papa of expansion looking after us, Thursdays are the day to put yourself out there. Thursdays are the day we love to teach our classes. So all of our classes in the Centered Collective happen on a Thursday. There's a reason for that. Thursdays, because of that bigness, considered to be a day of good fortune, of luck, of expansion. It's a great day to teach. It's a great day to reach out. So Thursdays, Jupiter is big, expansive. We're getting bigger and bigger, which leads us to Fridays. It's Fridays. It's a good day to be in love. The Cure knew it. I know it. You know it. Thursdays are looked after by Venus. Venus is the mother of divine love. Venus is all about emotional intimacy, connection. Venus, my home, Venus looks after higher consciousness. Venus is, the way I picture Venus is always like the divine feminine wrapping her arms around all things. So Venus is when you can bring polarities into the heart. The divine feminine, the divine masculine. Venus is the day for conversations around love. Venus is the day to ideate because expansion. Ideas, this is my experience. The ideas and the creativity that come to me on Fridays, my best ideas, because my best ideas come from the heart. Ideas, goal setting, visions that come from the heart are inclusive. They're asking the question, how might my success benefit other people? How can I use this idea, this launch, this curriculum, this new purchase, this goal, this metric to benefit all beings, all sentient beings? Venus is also, or Fridays being ruled by Venus, best day of the week for date nights. Thank God it's Friday. Okay, that moves us to Saturday. We start to move inward on Saturdays. So again, keeping in mind, if you're just coming in, metaphysically, energetically speaking, the first day of the week is Sunday, not Monday, which makes the official last day of the week, the wrap up, the finish line, is actually Saturday, not Sunday. Saturday is completion. Saturday is conclusion. Can you guess what planet looks after Saturdays? Saturn. Saturn is father energy. Saturn is rectification, completion, cleaning up. Saturn looks after karma. And I know we get a little like, oof, we kind of get that heavy feeling when we even consider the concept of karma. But let me tell you, let me just off-road for a second to tell you. Karma is the opportunity to find out how powerful you are. Karma is your soul saying to you, hey, that thing you did, did that feel aligned? Did that feel like you? Did that feel like your higher self, your best self? Why don't we just circle back and use our divine love and our lucidity and our mental clarity to clean that up? See how powerful you are? You can turn pain into power. You can turn saying the wrong thing into healing and forgiveness. So let's do a reframe, as Kate is suggesting, a reframe of karma, knowing that Saturday, ruled by the father of karma, is for cleaning up all kinds of things. And what's the power move to clean up all things? Forgiveness. So I always like to say Saturdays are the best day to go to Home Depot and run your errands and forgive yourself and other people for what they've done and have any conversations around forgiving, which will set you up for Sundays. I'll give you a quick recap on Sundays. So recap on Saturdays. Don't launch anything new. Don't start anything new on Sunday or on Saturdays. Saturdays, completion, closure, finishing, tidying, put a bow on it. Don't start anything new. And then just relax. Cleaning up on multiple levels. Most powerful way to clean things up is to forgive to forgive all. Okay, so those are the 7 days a week. If you're just tuning in, you can get it in the app. You can get it in the planner. This will be available for you. So I've walked through Sunday, the first day of the week, to Saturday, which energetically speaking, in terms of being in sync with the planets, is actually the last day of the week. Okay. Um, I pair all of these energetics of the days of the week, the 7 days, with a lifestyle area. So the lifestyle areas are spirit. This is your life. This is why I created this whole system, because I could not find an app or a planner that took all of me into consideration: my heart, my spiritual practice, my gratitude, getting everywhere I wanted to go, being productive. I want to be a baller, but I want to be heart-centered and high-minded about it. I want to think with mental clarity. I want to get stuff done, but I want my nervous system to be regulated, hence the centered system. So every day of the week, being ruled by a particular planet and like a mama and a papa of the energy of that day that we want to be in sync with. We want to be blessed by. We want to be going with it, not against it. There are times to retreat, and your thinking and your healing will be deeper if you are in sync with the retreat days. There are times to launch and to speak and to connect. They are blessed. Your connections and your launchings will be more prosperous in all ways if you do it on those days. And of course, as with all things, we don't get overattached. We use this as a guide. We look up and we follow our heart, bringing heaven to earth. So the 7 lifestyle areas that are paired with every day of the week are spirit, body, livelihood, mind and emotions. That's one life area. Relationships. And the last life area is space and things, where you live, where you work. So the centered system works for all the people in my life who I love, who are ADD and ADHD, who just need some focus, and all the people in my love, and I consider myself one of these, who just like a little on the hyper organized, because 4 planets in Virgo, and we like to know what's going on. We love certainty, we love clarity, we love beauty, and it works for the ballers, and it works for the people who just need a little guidance system. Also in the centered planner and the app, in addition to the energetics of the days of the week, I talk about just the big planetary movements. So we don't go into what's happening with Pluto and Neptune and the third house and all of that. What we do go into, in addition to the planets that rules the days of the week and what's best to do on those days, we talk about eclipses. We give you notifications for Mercury retrograde, equinoxes, and solstices. These are the big movements where there's lots of light, there's lots of support for fresh starts, and lots of support for letting go. So on this particular day, what day are we? We are September 7th. Today is a lunar eclipse, and it's a full moon. So let me tell you the best thing to do right now today. And there will be a replay for all of this, okay? So this is what eclipses are about. Eclipses happen the handful of times a year. This does not happen every month. It doesn't necessarily, it's not a day of the week thing. Eclipses are about readjustment and realignment. They symbolize growth, expansion, transition. This is my favorite teaching of this. Eclipses are about the transition from narrow-mindedness to expansive thinking. Eclipses are really the opportunity to go from the ego and the shadow into a more heart-centered perspective, more love. In order for that to happen, there's letting go. Today is a brilliant day of the year. Powerful, powerful, powerful day of the year to let go of all the things that bind you, the things that need to be forgiven, those thought loops that are keeping you small, the worries, the grievances, the things that feel like they are not you anymore. They do not behoove the beautiful vision of your future. Let me give you, so again, eclipses, process of release, readjustment, realignment that paves the way for spacious, a more spacious, inclusive, loving, heart-centered way of thinking, speaking, and acting. So let me give you a little more on this particular day, September 7th. I'm going to give you an offering from Juliana McCarthy, who's one of my favorite astrologers. You can follow her on Instagram at Ethereal Culture. Total lunar eclipse is today. There's going to be another one. You want to write this down. And you will, when you sign up for the Centered app, which is free, you'll get notified that there's going to be a solar eclipse on September 21st. And we tell you all the best things to do and just be more aware of the energies. Lunar eclipses occur when the Earth's shadow falls across the moon, revealing what has been hidden. So this is happening physically, and this creates the energetics of this. This is woo, and this is physics. Illusions and longings are stripped bare, making space for clarity through grief and release. So if you've been feeling a little shadowy and emotional for the last 4 days, this is why. All the shadows and the emotions are coming up to the forefront of your mind, to the surface, to be seen, to be loved, to be cleansed. So the wobblies are just saying, hey, could you pay attention to me so I can come into balance? The full moon, especially today, so we've got an eclipse happening and a full moon. Very powerful day today. I'm so glad we're together. The full moon asks us to release fantasies, disappointments, and narratives that obscure truth, making space for new possibilities that are both miraculous and practical. Okay, so here's the kiss for today, with today being the full moon and an eclipse. Our relational patterns are shifting. I'm going to say something about this in a minute. Our relational patterns are shifting. A rebirth of love and connection is beginning to vibrate from the ground up, calling us into a new world. So when we talk about relational patterns in the centered paradigm, we have to include your relational patterns to yourself, your relational patterns to the stuff that you've been trying to push away and overcome, to your inner child, to all your dark stuff. We change our relationship to the things we're ashamed of, and all of those things begin to heal. They begin to relax, and they stop being so chatty and hijacking your decisions. And this is a fine point on why we become aware of the energies of the planets and how they are influencing every day, and we can get in sync with that. This is all about getting in sync with reality, with the higher truth, not with silly ego truths. Okay. So that's what happens on eclipses. Now, let me tell you what happens on full moons, and I'm going to tell you what happens on new moons. Again, all of this, I'm going to tell you more about the plannered system. If you head to daniellelaporte.com/planner, you're going to be able to see the interior of this and the system and what happens in the printed version and the app and all the things. New moons and full moons have particular importance for us. So full moons are about resolution and letting go. So just think fullness. What happens when something's really full? It needs to be emptied. So on full moons, we do a write and burn practice, which I can tell you more about at the end. Full moons, resolution, shedding, letting go of what's arising in the mind-body continuum. Whatever's surfacing in your emotions, perceptions, or thoughts from the 4 days before the full moon up to the end of that full moon, all of those thoughts are coming up to be consciously offered up and released. So we meet it. What's the theme of the full moon? Release. And what do we encourage? Courage. We encourage courage to offer it up and be transformed. So in the planners, in the centered system, we tell you when you're going to do a release ritual. We give you the release ritual for the full moons and the dark of the moon. I'm going to give you instructions for that. We also do and give you notifications for this in the centered system on doing a write and release exercise, a bless and release, a write and burn on the dark of the moon. The dark of the moon is the day before the new moon. This is this is important to know. This gets really overlooked in the personal development space. We get so stoked to start fresh and to launch things that we really focus on, like, ooh, it's the new moon. I'm going to set my intentions. Yes, that is the day for new things. That is the day for expansion and fresh starts, and do it. But if you really want to set your new objectives up for success, you got to let go of the old stuff. You got to clean the slate. So with the centered ideology, the centered way of living, we do a bless and release practice of write and burn on the dark of the moon, the day before the new moon. You're going to write about what you want to forgive and the gnarly thoughts that have been bugging you. You will notice, just pay attention as you start to live within the system and plan according to this. Pay attention to what's happening for you on the dark of the moon. I used to have like this little chronic health issue, and I would notice on the dark of the moon, the day before the new moon, it would always flare up. Or I would just feel like a little bit more emotional that day, a little bit crunchy. It was like a little more inner child activity. And that's like all that stuff coming up to be released so you can make more use of the freshness that's coming in for the full moon. Again, this is not just woo. This is physics. This is where woo meets physics, which is called metaphysics. This is really where your metaphysics get taken into consideration in how you live your life. Yes, Lori, super tired. Yesterday's dark moon. Plus, we got this eclipse coming. Yesterday was like an extra nap day for me. Okay, you can start asking questions, and let me tell you how this system is going to work. So we've got a code for you. The team will start dropping it in. So you need to have your planners ordered today. Would be great. I do a bulk order with the printer so that we will get all of the planners. This is the daily and this is the weekly in your hands for November. So be thinking about whether you're a daily or a weekly person. Think about your team, because it's really great if your whole team is using the planner system. Think about your hostess gifts and Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, all the things. So you can there's discounts for bulk orders, but I got to have all the orders into the printer by September 28th. That's a Sunday. So that they're shipping worldwide, every country. We're shipping these to the Bermuda Triangle. So you use the code ASTROLOVE15. So let me spell this code out for you. You want to write this down? Someone's going to drop it in the chat right now. Astro, ASTRO, love is LUV, 15. ASTROLOVE, ASTROLUV, 15. And you get 15% off, which is great because these are for real. If you are in the collective, in my collective group, you get a special member discount because we stick together. Okay. You're also going to we've got all these bundles. So I'm going to do a deeper dive of the energetics of the week, which I just kind of lightly went over. So the 7 days of the week, what planet is the mama and the papa, the energizer of that day? What are the best things to do on that day? What we have paired up that day of the week with. So let me give you a perfect example. Fridays in French. Fridays are vendredi. In Latin, I think Fridays is venerdì, I think. Fridays are ruled by Venus. So the planet Venus is responsible for that day of the week. So what's the personality, you could say, of Venus? She is divine love. She is Buddha nature. She is Christ consciousness. She is inclusiveness. She is love. She is emotional intimacy. So we have paired up Fridays in the centered system, in the printed planners and in the app with relationships. That is the lifestyle area. This is the best day of the week to do an inventory about your relationship with yourself and your inner child and the people in your life. Who do you want to connect with? Who do you want to celebrate? How do you want to plan for nurturing your relationships for that day, that week, that quarter, this year? Also, Venus rules ideation, love, inclusiveness, bigger thinking. My happiness is connected to your happiness. How can your success bless other people's lives? So Fridays are for ideation. So you're going to get notifications. It's built into the centered planner system and into the app about, hey, just a reminder, today is Venus, today is relationship, today is deeper connection. So I've got a deeper course. I'm going to go more deeply into the planets, into how they influence every day of the week, the lifestyle area. We're going to talk about the best thing to do on spring equinox, fall equinox, summer solstice, and winter solstices. I will be talking about the write and burn ritual. So this is new. In addition to the glow up that the planners got, I'm going to open these and show you in a minute. We have got a new write and burn journal, which is people are stoked. I'm stoked. I'm going to be doing my write and burn tonight because today is an eclipse and today is a full moon. So it's 2 days of the month, the dark of the moon. Again, it's the 24 hours before a new moon. It's called the dark of the moon. And the full moon are the days where we do our offerings. We let go of all the stuff that's been ruminating, that's in our energy bodies. We bless it, release it. There's a whole, I have a set of questions that you are going to go through, you're going to journal with on the dark of the moon, and a different set on the full moon. So one journal, and these are like just cheap and cheerful, lasts you 6 months. So you should get 2. And you're going to, and I know this is going to be radical, especially for those of us who love beautiful things. You're going to do your writing for about 20 minutes, and then you're going to tear the pages out. You're going to destroy this journal. You're going to burn the page. We offer it up for transmutation, and then you're going to get yourself in a salty bath. So when you come and you get your bundle today for the centered planners, you can come into the class, which is also, it's a beautiful series of videos. I shot 19 videos for the Energetics of the Days of the Week course for you. So you get that with your 15% discount on your planners. And you got to order them because I do one order with the printer. I call my guy up and say, okay, 51,334 planners. And that means you get them in your hands for November. They start shipping in November. I just do them once. I'm not going to talk about these after September 28th. And today is the day of the 15% off special. Okay, let me show you the inside and you can start asking questions. All right. So this year's planner got a glow up. So it's hardbound. The indigo blue is the daily planner. So who here, can I see in the chat, who identifies as a daily planner? Yes, there is a code to get the discount. It's Astro Love. Love is spelled LUV 15. So it's Astro LUV 15, and you get the 15% off. Okay, so daily people, it's a definite personality thing. So this is the daily. This is the weekly. I'll show you the inside of both. When you go to daniellelaporte.com, look at all the daily people. Go to daniellelaporte.com/planner, planners or shop. daniellelaporte.com/planner. Haley Curry, I send you love. And you can flip through the digital pages. You can see exactly the spreads that are in here. Thank you, Susan, for ordering at launch. Okay. Hey, Beth Claxton. Here is our end notes. Beautiful, right? Cheyenne designed this. Gratitude centered, friend centered, integrity centered, love centered, faith centered, family centered, wellness, prosperity, heart centered. This year's version of the centered planner has a satin bookmark. You can tear off the little tabs. These are actually perforated. Last year's version was not perforated. You had to cut them. So you fold these over, and each one has a little word just for like inspo. Keep your heart centered, flowing, playful, centered, zing. Where did zing? I gotta take zing. Presence, melodic, wisdom, kindly, beaming, engaging. I mean, we had to come up with 300 plus of those. So you tear those off, and then you can just press and you open up to the day of the week that you are. We also have actual cut tabs. So boom, and then you're at your month, and then boom, shakalaka. You've got the month view, and the month view gives you the key astro things, 2-color. We have a different virtue for every month. So for the month of June, the virtue is about forgiving. We've got a key question. I'll show you this. So the daily and the weekly has an area, and I've got a set of cues for this, for you to write out your higher thoughts. You will not find anything else out there in the planner space like this planner. It's got the energetics of the days of the week, cues for higher thoughts. In both the daily and the weekly, you've got a cue for gratitude, and we add some specificity. There's research behind this that says, so we've got gratitude because when you get specific about what you are grateful for, it creates more of those happy chemicals in your brain. More of those happy chemicals equals a balanced nervous system, equals more love, equals more responsive living, heart-centered living instead of messed up fight, flight, freeze, fawn. This is a system that helps you organize your time and balance your nervous system. And then at the end of every week, for both the daily and the weekly that comes in the mocha, the end of every week has a reflection, because a heart-centered life is a reflective life. So you're going to be asking yourself questions. What's working and what's not working? Those two questions actually come from decades of therapy where, I used to have, Michael, rest in peace, such a beauty in my life, my Buddhist Jewish psychotherapist, Michael. And my first session with him, he was like, so what's working? And I was like, I'm paying you $300 an hour to ask me what's working. And guess what? Focusing on what's working works. So the weekly reflection in the whole system, whether you're doing weekly or daily, is what's working. And I give you cues for that: vibrancy, strength, ease, positive results, happiness. And what's not working, because we're not spiritually bypassing anything in the centered system ever. I wrote a whole book about spiritual bypassing. So what's disappointing, stagnant, challenging, needs to shift, needs to change. I highly recommend that you do an overflow of what's working. So in the 2026 edition of the Center Planners, we've left more white space because we listen to you, because there's a whole chatty community. If you want to learn about excellent customer service and how to love your people and meet their needs, you start a planner business, girlfriend. Because planner people, we are particular and we are opinionated, and we love to stick together and figure out how to optimize everything. Our gel pens, and what are you doing for the gratitudes and the habit trackers and all those things. I mix the cues up month to month, but we also have a section for the weekly reflection for giving and receiving, because this is a heart-centered life. This is not just about crushing your goals. This is about being a loving person and receiving more love from the divine. Who, what, how can you support? Where do you need support? What calendar asks you that? No, none others. Yeah, centered. And then, this is one of my favorite questions. We have a cue for what I trust. What do you trust? Yeah. There is a prayer, which we will close with in a little bit. Keep asking questions. The code, so you want to do two things, and Team D will just keep dropping in this URL and this discount code. So you want to head to daniellelaporte.com/planner. And you want to use the code because there's 15% off today for all the planners. And it's good to give these in bulk, right? The code is AstroLove15. Love is spelled with LUV. So Astro, LUV15, daniellelaporte.com/planner. The weekly thank you, Island Girl 808. The daily planner this year is just one book. Last year we did two because we couldn't fit it all in the spiral bound. But I found the most beautiful production house in the UK, eco-friendly, shipping everywhere in the world. We will get it, your planners, you will be getting them, and it doesn't matter how many you order. You will get your weeklies, your journals, your write and burn journals for November. So you can get them under the tree and we can have a planner party together because planner people want to get going for 2026, right? Right. Um, Other questions. Oh, you can also pay in 3 installments. Right. Thank you, Susie, for the reminder. We got the tech set up this year that if you want to order a bunch of things, you want to order the collection where you get this and you get my Energetics of the Days of the Week course, which it normally will be over $200. You can pay in 3 installments. I think you can email support@daniellelaporte.com, but I think you can pay in installments if you want to order these in bulk. Last year, we had a lot of particularly entrepreneurs who ordered them for their team. So they get like a dozen, 2 dozen at a time. Is there extra postage fee shipping to the UK? Yes. So when you come to daniellelaporte.com to place your orders today, um, whatever country you're in is going to be the currency that shows up in our shop. So if you're in Canada, it'll show you the Canadian currency. Canadians especially order today because of the dollar. It's our way of offsetting it. If anybody wants to get like big bulk of these, just email us. We can work something out. Um, the paper in this is recycled content. The write and burn paper is lighter for the journal. If you are a heart-centered member, if you're in our collective, you are going to get a deeper discount. So check your email or email support@daniellelaporte.com. Any other questions? What can I tell you? I want to end by telling you about the centered practice. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing to do today that we are all together on Sunday. Today is a big day, energetically and astrologically speaking. So why don't we cross the finish line with that together? So today is a new moon in, wait a second. I just want to make sure. Let me go back and give you the degrees that were in Pisces. Right. Okay. So today is, we've got the moon happening and we've got a lunar eclipse. So full moons are about letting go, fullness, culmination, releasing. Today, we also are having an eclipse. Eclipses are about transitioning. This is my favorite way of teaching this. Eclipses are about transitioning from narrow-mindedness to open-mindedness, from shadow into light. Bobby's asking how to join the collective. We'll set you up with that. The Centered app is free, by the way. We have an app that supports the actual printed day planner system because we got you. We're going to be in your life and you're not going to get sick of it. You're going to just be like, thank you. Oh my gosh, this is why I feel this way on Monday. Oh, it's Friday. What should I do? I just had one of corporate, my corporate investor friends tell me, a dude. And he's an open-minded, holistically oriented guy for sure. But he's like, I went and referred to your planner last week because I had this legal document to deliver to somebody. And I wondered if I could get guidance. And he looked at the planner system and said, oh, Monday is ruled by the moon. The moon is shadowy and emotional. This is a day for mindfulness and patience. He did not send the legal document on the Monday, which is wise. He just pulled back. Mindfulness, patience, extra self-care on Mondays. Now, Tuesdays are ruled by Mars. In French, Tuesdays are mardi. So it's execution, strategy, visioning. You can see how this goes, right? Okay, so even the corporate dudes are like, yes, the woo works. I'm telling you, my sisters and my misters, the woo works. There's physics, and this is the metaphysics, and this is how you live a heart-centered life. The through line of the centered lifestyle system is the energetics of the days of the week and the lifestyle areas, obviously, but a practice called centering. So that it's a very, very sample visualization, and we've built it into the planner. So the beginning of every planner, you get the overview of how to create higher thoughts, what key actions mean, the energetics of the days of the week, what we mean in the planner by gratitude. There's a twist on it. What we mean by heart check-ins, what we mean by working and what's not working. This is the system. I'm going to save you so much money on therapy. And then you've got in 2-color, the lifestyle areas. So when you go to your weekly reflection in the centered planner and you're asking yourself, what worked last week and what didn't work? If you need a little memory jog, you're going to look at these areas and you go, oh, in terms of my body, nutrition, movement, sexuality, healing modalities, right, this is what worked. And this is what didn't work. And you're going to go, oh, right. I forgot about the area of play, creativity, interest, hobby. What worked? Oh, I didn't take any time for myself. Or, oh, I went to the movies, whatever it is. So we've got the cues. And then I talk to you about inner attunement and goals for the year. You've got your astrology overview. And you've got your energetics of the days of the week. So you're going to read all about them. You're going to learn. So beautiful. I love systems where I'm learning as I'm planning and living and loving. Okay. I even give you cues for best days for your heart-centered altar. So good. So good. So good. Okay. Let's end with a centering practice. This is really rooted in this. Sunday being the day of devotion, worship, contemplation, reflection, and fresh energy. This is a great day to do this. Let's do it together. And I know we've got new people coming into this jam session every time. The rest of us, let's just keep going. So wherever you are, if you're in motion, great. Just get your focus on. And if you're sitting and you can close your eyes, great. Then take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. This practice is, I'm going to walk you through this in about 60 seconds. You can do this multiple times a day. You can also do this as a deeper meditation, 11, 20 minutes. Okay. Put your hand on your heart. And now think about something positive. Recall a beautiful memory or bring to mind a beautiful, positive feeling. You love love. You love generosity. The day you had your baby, the day you got your puppies, the hugging trees, how much you love swimming. Okay, so positivity, we're getting the mind to relax. And now think about something you want to let go of. It's particularly potent to do this today on a full moon and on this eclipse. Something you want to let go of. Now, how do you see it in your heart? Is it a moment? Is it a vignette? Is it a vision? Is it just the word written in your heart? Is it a symbol? Is it a color? What do you want to bring healing to, let go of? And now see within your heart, it's kind of golden friendly quality. And you're going to pour on that pain point that you've brought into your heart for healing, the spectrum of the rainbow. Another way to consider this is if there was a stained glass window with light shining through it, that's the frequency of colors that you are using as the healer in your heart. This is the centering practice. So the reds, we're not doing deep reds and saturated colors. Those reds become beautiful, bright pinks, peachy oranges, golden yellows, minty greens, sky blues, lilac, that lavender color, lit up dynamic light, bright, luminous light in your heart. You're pouring that on what it is you are here to heal. Take a few breaths and you move out of the practice. You just let it rest. Let it rest. Let it be closed. Let it rest in your heart. Don't go back and think about it. He said, they said, I should have, I would have, I could have. What's going to happen, did happen, didn't, could. No. You've brought the pain point into the portal within your being, the heart chakra, the fulcrum of your consciousness, where all change happens. And you have applied healing to it. We'll close with a little physics. I've been writing a lot about this lately. There is lots of research that shows, we know this is basic. You see light, it affects your brainwaves. You visualize light, and it positively affects your brainwaves. There are studies that show that if two people sit across from each other with their eyes closed and they visualize sending light to each other, their brainwaves start to undulate and sync together. They literally get into energetic resonance by using the free will of their mind to work with light. All of the woo-woos here, we know this. We know that we feel more balanced and more loving and more patient and more forgiving when we work with light, when we just imagine the most loving thing to say, when we visualize the most positive, inclusive, heart-centered solution. We know this. And science is catching up. Light works, and you are the light worker. You work with the light, which we remind you of on a daily basis or a weekly basis to live a heart-centered life. You need to get your heart on the agenda. This is the system. And this is the day, because there's all sorts of specials in the caboodle. So you head to daniellelaporte.com/planner for the Centered Planner. Today is a 15% off discount. This is going to be especially helpful for the Canadians. Whatever currency you see for the planners when you go to the shop at daniellelaporte.com/planner is the currency of your country. Order today to get your discount. My kid knows when I'm doing stuff. My kid just called. Order today to get the 15% off. Think about ordering in bulk because Christmas gifts. These are going to be in your hands in November. So you can put them under the tree and the menorah in time. They're shipping everywhere in the world. Okay, so in closing, you are the light worker. You are not the wound. You are the healer. To become more aware of your healing capacities, you need to be reminded on a regular basis. You are the creator, and you are going to create with more trust, higher consciousness, and more love on a daily basis. And that's how, it's how we live more responsive, beautiful, centered lives. It's how we change the world. I'm going to dare to say it. It starts with a planner. daniellelaporte.com/planner. You can DM us questions. We're going to be on socials all day. You can always email support@daniellelaporte.com. My highest blessings for this eclipse day, this full moon day. This is the day to let go. Letting go is going to be easier. You are going to see with more clarity what needs to be let go of, and it will be easier to release, and then more light pours in. Heart-centered living. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. I love this space. Yeah.